Hey. I can't hear you, Lee.
Okay, that split screen's got to go because this.
Well, it's hard to explain, but if you see the little phone app down at the looking thing at the bottom, you just have to click on it and it goes away because it's not supposed to be up there. Lee, can't hear you. Can you try again?
What phone app are you talking about, Gwen?
Can't hear you, Lee.
It's muted. Okay.
There you go. Okay.
All right.
How do I get rid of that, Gwen? Because that's bugging me.
I don't know if you can. I got rid of it. Lee.
That. That's irritating.
It is. It is. That's why it's not supposed to be put up there. So do you see the little thing that looks like a cell phone? Little click on it and it'll go away for you, Lee.
If it goes away for her, it'll go away for me, hopefully.
Hopefully.
I look.
Because mine's gone. I got rid of mine.
Yeah, I don't have the little phone.
Anyway, everybody, welcome.
Thank you. That's all I was like.
Welcome to the chaos.
I feel like just going out and coming back because
it's okay.
Yeah, I was hoping it would go away.
Yeah, we're having glitches as always, but welcome to Family Spirit.
I think I fixed it.
All right, cool. Blaine,
no, mine's not going away. All right, now I'm just irritated.
I am
what
sorry.
you do is there's an arrow button and you just click it and it slides across.
What arrow button? I don't have that.
He doesn't have what we have, Lee. So
okay.
Sorry, Blaine. You can do it to the whole screen.
Crap.
I know. So, well, we were supposed to have 2 guests tonight, but one of them got busy. So he told me that he was sending his better half, which made me laugh. So Christopher Talley was supposed to be on with Jennifer, and he can't make it. I think, if I'm remembering right, Jennifer, you might have to fix that for me. But I think he said he had a tour that he had to do. Maybe so. I'm gonna just bring her on. This is Jennifer Talley.
Thank you.
Hey guys.
Hey Jennifer.
Hey guys.
How's it going?
Good. Chris is New Orleans Paranormal Society. We do public ghost hunts every night, and we had one booked for tonight. We didn't have anyone else to do it, so that is where he's at. He's out talking to dead people.
Oh yeah.
We like talking to dead people.
I know. And we've got some pretty entertaining ones here in New Orleans, as you can probably imagine. So,
oh boy, do you ever!
That's good.
Last night, one of the places he's going tonight.
You've never been to New Orleans, have you?
I have. Yes,
I have.
Oh, I didn't think you had.
Oh, he's not. Okay.
Oh, I'm an old hat down there. So.
Not me. I'm so excited. It's my first time, and Chris has told me a lot. You've told me a lot. Yeah, I keep looking at the advertisements about the people that are local, that it will talk about your area. You know, for me, that's what I would like to see. I know everybody that's coming to the con, and I can't wait to see everybody. You know, we're all good friends, but that's something that I've always wondered about, and would hear them talk. So that's going to be a big thing for me. Nate said it's been on his bucket list.
Oh, I hope to see you there, Nathan. And that's the allure of New Orleans, is that alternatives, what would be considered, it's not, alternative spiritual practices, and all of the allure behind it, that we have here. And hopefully people will have some really good opportunities to learn. We actually spoke to one of the gentlemen on the voodoo panel, and we're thinking about finding room for them to do workshops on making gree bags, or witches would say mojo bags, and possibly spirit dolls for people to learn how to do that and get them blessed. So we're kicking around trying to get some more hands-on stuff for people to really dive in and see how Hollywood has just wrecked some beautiful spiritual practices. Right.
I love to hear you say that. That's beautiful. Yeah.
Voodoo is a beautiful practice. And learning about it, no matter what you practice, you'll probably sit back and say, wow, that's similar to, I promise you can say it. And the same thing with vampirism. You know, people think it's dark and they cut people and da 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 da, and it's not that. It's not that at all. So it's going to be a lot of fun for people to learn about all the things we have here.
I've got a question for you. And this might sound stupid because I have absolutely no background at all, no knowledge. I haven't looked. I could have, but I didn't. Is a vampire a cryptid?
No.
Okay.
No. It's my layman's understanding of the vampire practice is it is an ancient spiritual practice based on Egyptian teachings, and primarily the Egyptian god of Set, which, if you look at some mythology behind him, that it's the buried alive. He was brought back to life, you know, drinking the elixir of life from a chalice, which would have been blood.
Well, it actually goes back a little bit further, Jane. It actually goes back a little bit further to Mesopotamia, and the Romans adopted, and the Egyptians adopted it as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got two master's degrees in history, so I know those stupid facts.
Yes, and it's not, because it's good for people to understand that it's rooted in some real things and some very ancient things. They didn't just decide to, do what Hollywood portrays them to do. You know, a lot of them vampire legends that we think of come from our lack of understanding of diseases and comas and how diseases are transmitted. And that's where all of those things come from. You know, yellow fever, we have, why do we have the bells in cemeteries, right? Because we didn't know what a coma was. And now right. They had some other disease where they were bleeding or pale, and then we thought they were dead, and they came back to life. They must have been bit, and then we kill them actually when they would have been fine, So a lot of the superstition behind vampires just comes from our lack of knowledge historically. And I hope we're trying to get, Marita Waywood Crandall, that's not how you say that maiden name. It's very Romanian, and I'll butcher it. So we're just going to say Marita Crandall. She's the historian on the vampire panel, as well as some roots to, I think it's Stoker, honestly. So you're really, people that are going to come to these things, you're really going to have some people with some, pardon the expression, some teeth behind what they know. Really.
I like that.
But
that's a good one.
Dad jokes here all night.
Hey, you're here all week. It's a 2-drink minimum, right?
Exactly.
If you're waitress, right?
And the 9:00 show is completely different from the 8:00 show.
Yeah, no doubt, huh?
Tell them about it, girl.
That's good.
I've been wanting
That's
to
really
ask
good.
this. I've been wanting to ask this because I want to. It's exciting to go through and learn these things. I really feel like that's the allure of what your conference is going to bring to people coming there. I found some pictures of 18th century vampire exhumation engravings. Now, these are engravings. And here's one. And so basically they went in and dug this person up and stabbed him and poof. I mean, I guess when you're afraid, a lot of things can look like that.
Yeah. And they actually, I found when I was started as a tour guide back in 2018, 2019, I found some articles that the church here, actually at the time in 1800 had a job called vampire hunter, and you had a kit, and if the person was suspected to be a vampire, you would, open up their crypt and they stake them and do whatever you were supposed to do with your little kit to make sure they don't come back to life. So that didn't help. That did not help anything here. But that's how high the superstition was. That's how afraid they were of these things.
I would love to have one though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just
every now and then you can find one at an antique store. Mm-hmm. I found one in an antique store up here, but they wanted like $2,500 for it. I'm like, y'all can keep it.
Yeah. So for those of you watching, here's a picture of one. Isn't that cool? Look at the gun.
Cool.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, the knife.
Mm-hmm.
Holy water, but I don't know what the other bottle was. Maybe it's oil.
Probably holy oil, silver bullets, silver knife.
Is that a deck of cards in the middle?
It does look like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It might be a small Bible.
Yeah. I can look at it on the TV and see.
Just my V8 issue glasses that I could barely see out of, but.
Yeah, but you're just smart like that. You can figure stuff out. He's not just pretty, Jennifer. He's smarty pants too.
Now I got it. Now I got to do the glasses.
Yeah, I got mine in my pocket. Yeah, there you go.
Got to put them all on.
Hey, Jen, one of my favorite stories in New Orleans about the jazz loving axe murderer in the quarter.
Oh, hellfire!
That is such a cool story.
He never killed in the French Quarter. Never.
I know that's what that was. I know he was outside of the quarter, but everybody always says it's the quarter to make it more romantic. But
I know
it was outside the quarter. It was in the Italian section of New Orleans.
Little Palermo. Yep.
Yeah, sure was. Because my mom's from that Italian side of the French Quarter. I mean, of New Orleans. So.
Yeah, one of the places we ghost hunt on our public hunts is a hotel in that part, the Hotel Provincial. So and then we also sometimes go to the Royal Pharmacy, which is smack dab. Actually, one of the owners of the Royal Pharmacies remembers, super Italian, remembers when the French Quarter was, kids ran around. It was this residential neighborhood. He tells us all these stories all the time. People have all these fantastic theories about the Axeman, and we're never good. It's like Jack the Ripper. You're really never going to know for sure.
Yeah. No.
Right. You're never going to know. Have your theory, do your thing, because people do some events here surrounded by him. Because, what was it? American Horror Story Coven.
Yes.
If you look at have you read those letters he allegedly sent to the newspaper?
Yes, I've read every one of them.
Very Zodiac-ish, isn't it?
I know.
Very Zodiac-ish. So there is a theory that this was a cult or a group.
That makes a lot more sense, because one man could not commit as many murders as he did, because sometimes there were two families in the same night, and it was logistically impossible for him to get from one place to the other with the transportation they had at the time.
Right. And even clean himself up. So there's a theory it was a cult. And if you look at the time frame around the South, if you go east and west in the South, you'll see that there are other similar murders around that time as well in other parts of the country. So lots of directions you could go with that whole Axeman thing. The most fantastic theory I've ever heard, which here is certainly possible, is an demonic spirit. controlling several people to do this.
Wow.
Would not surprise me.
So that's, if you want to go way out there, that's the way out there theory that I've heard from someone. So I love listening to everybody's theory about it.
Yeah.
And how they back it up and what they've pulled up. It's always real interesting to see what rabbit hole they jump down. But again,
exactly.
Well, we're never gonna know. We're never gonna know. But that American Horror Story, even
what we need to do, Jen, is we need to channel and see what we can pick up from there.
Yeah, I should try to find
a lot of good stuff.
Oh, it would be. We've got a couple for you. I mean, how dark do you want to go with your channeling? Because there are places we could take you that you buckle in.
That's where
Honey, wherever I go, the dark comes to me anyway. So bring it on.
Because we've
I
got.
get the worst of the worst. I get the child molesters. I get the rapists.
Get
the murderers.
He's not lying.
Oh,
He's telling.
Bring it on.
100%.
I love it.
Lee, aren't you doing the Voodoo House investigation for the Paracon?
Yes.
Yes.
You got to go, because that's where the darkest human energy we have is. To the point where we may have to have them removed before everyone gets there. This past weekend,
I could do that.
What he was saying.
No, don't do it and screw it up, Blaine.
No.
Well, that particular location is owned and is occupied by a Louisiana voodoo priestess who's also a medium.
Oh.
And so what we do in that space only is, because it is her home and she does manage her own spirits, we take these kinds of spirits to her and let her make the choice or give us advice or bind them or whatever, because it's her house. So we, in that particular space, we don't mess with getting rid of stuff. This one's going to probably get brought to her attention. He was a serial.
Get rid of it. I'll calm it down.
No, let her do her thing.
Yeah, he
No, I didn't say I'd remove it. I said I will calm it down where it does not hurt anyone.
He doesn't hurt things. He doesn't hurt people. You can feel the darkness around him. And the words he said, he speaks about things that he knows upset certain people, because of what he did in his human life. We do believe it's possible he is perdition or perdition adjacent. We think that we're communicating with the spirit from perdition. So then that, if that's true, then opens up some doors that could potentially be a little dicey, because is he serving something? Because, like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know what's guiding him and around him. So, hey, Brandon. So with him, we have to be very careful. For me, I don't like to talk to him. I actually tell him, you're not allowed to speak. And if I bring a prayer book out and start to pray or show him a crucifix, I'm like, listen, I can't make you stop talking. I can't do it. But what I can do is I can start saying words you don't like until you go away. These are these are your choices. These are choices, and I'm going to do it. So you can try, and then I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And I can sit here all night and pray and talk about things and let you see crucifixes, which you hate, and waste your time, or you can go away. Those are choices. More often than not, for me, he goes away. This past weekend, I didn't do that because one of the people who's guiding this big group wanted to let him talk. I went, okay. You get what you asked for. And she did. She got an earful of very disturbing things. So
bring it on. See, I love talking to them. Yeah. They're fun to me.
I want to know. I like to know what and why. Okay, Blaine, Gwen, Jennifer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, show and tell. Here we go. Boom. What's that?
Lalaurie Mansion.
Lalaurie Mansion. I've investigated that twice.
Well, I would love to see it.
I got my granddaughter
animated.
I investigated it last February, right after they had the shootings in the quarter. I went up, knocked on the door. I had my daughter and my granddaughter ask if we could come in and just see the house. He said, "Come on in," and they fed us. We had some shrimp etouffee with them. It was nice.
What a sweet thing to do.
With Lance, you met Lance, huh? I've met Lance too.
I
He's
met
friends with
Lance,
me.
yes.
So Laurie, she was a very demented person. And the
no
things that
proof.
she did, no proof?
Nope.
No, there was no proof.
Not one shred of evidence that she did anything that she was accused of. Not one piece of evidence. There are suspicious things surrounding her that we can prove, but there's no proof of medical experience. So after that fire in 1834, when they rescued the people in the attic, that was the horror of itself. That was 5 humans that weren't considered human in the city at the time, right? They were chattel, chained, emaciated, dehydrated, probably in their own filth, not dead, probably close, rescued, and then put on display for the entire town to see. Delphine had a reputation of flaunting her money. I'm a natural redhead, so I get the fire behind her. We can get a little spicy sometimes, right? Our tempers can be a little short. So when you're the richest woman in the city and you flaunt your money and you don't care, what do people want to do? They want to take you down
for everything.
Mm-hmm. They want to take you down. And so when you leave with no explanation, right, with 10% of your things on a carriage, the rest between a house and a plantation in the city, and you don't come back, what are people going to think? You did something.
The worst.
Right.
You know what's funny about that, Jen? As soon as you said they were probably in their own human waste, I got the smell of it.
Yeah. So
it was awful. That's why y'all saw me turn a minute ago. I picked the smell of it.
That in itself, at the time. Now listen, in 1834, what the condition they found those people in was no big deal to most of the people here, because it was like, oh, they're slaves, who cares? But that's not okay. Mm-hmm. That what the condition they were in just plain is not okay. And even went against the Code Noir here as well. But no slave owner ever had any charges of abuse stick to them. They always got out of them. They always got their slaves back. So if you knew there were rules that you could break without consequence, would you care?
They didn't.
No, they didn't. So those are all the things where you start, snowballing these things of, okay, well, where did this come from and what's the truth, right? Did they find bodies in the courtyard during a renovation? Yes. Was it a time when we could carbon date gender, race, things like that? No.
I wish we could, I wish there was a way we had access to that so that we could do some forensic science.
Yeah. I mean, because that's where you would go. And we found it in 1788, in 1699, is when the French landed. We weren't technically official till 1718. And where we settled in 1699 was a few, what we would call blocks, if you measure the distance now from where they were. So if people died, they were buried behind of where they were living. And could that site, which had nothing on it until 1831, there was no building on it. So 1699 to 1831, there was no building on that dirt. So is it possible it was Natives Americans who were here before us anywhere, basically like everywhere else?
Yes.
Was it French settlers who died and didn't make it because they didn't get supplies for 19 years? Supply ships were supposed to come and they didn't. So, I mean, there's just a lot of who are you? Who or what is this? And, we won't know. So Carolyn Morrow Long, she wrote a book on Delphine Lalaurie and Marie Laveau. She is a researcher by trade. I actually attended a lecture she gave of Delphine Lalaurie, And I'm, as a tour guide, having to tell these stupid stories, raising my hand, because, you know, you want to hear the legends, but then sometimes you have people that want to hear the truth too.
Thank you.
And if you want to respect the family that you're speaking about, you owe it to them to also tell the truth, because she has relatives that are alive. How would you like it if people trashed your family for generations and generations and generations and disrespected them with no proof? You know, that's kind of how I look at it. So I always like to well, this is what people say, and it's full of crap because we can't prove it. They don't, you know, burst their little American Horror Story bubble. But out of respect for the family, we should tell the truth of what do we know.
Thank you.
You know, so
I love that. I really appreciate that because I had not heard that. I took the legend for fact. So see, this is why I want to go. All right. Yep. Show and tell again. Kaboom. What is that?
That looks like the top of the Italian tomb.
Yep. This is the City of the Dead. Look, Blaine, it looks like you're photobombing over on the right corner. Look.
It does.
All I need to be doing is waving. It'll be perfect.
So Marie Laveau's supposed to be buried there.
Yeah.
Supposed to be.
There's a tomb with the plaque on the side and Laveau and Glaupion on the top of it engraved. I don't think anyone really knows. I think that it was we got to tell people she's somewhere. So slap, here it is. Plaques on the side don't generally mean that the person is buried there. They tell a story. Glaupion was the name of the gentleman. They couldn't get married. In all uncertain terms, they had 15 kids together. But because she was mixed and he was white, they couldn't marry. But in all effects and purposes, that was her husband, just never official. And Glaupion was his last name. So, you know, family Laveau and Glaupion, they're like, oh, makes more sense. Her grandson's actually in St. Louis #2, which a lot of people theorize that's where she is. She owns several tombs throughout the city. And so if you could not afford to be buried, if you were poor or enslaved or a free person of color and you couldn't afford burial for your family, she would help pay for it. And you would go in one of the tombs that she owned. And she would make sure, because she was a devout Catholic, you must be buried. You must be put to laid to rest properly. And she really believed in that. She was a magical, beautiful woman. So much so her obituary was published in the New York Times. They wrote an obituary for her and talking about how many people came to her house, visited her. She was passing, visited her after her passing. It was apparently just lines and lines and lines of people. That's how much she was beloved here. She is not, she's not what people think. There's going to be some voodoo roots. But most of what you hear about her is actually Marie II, which is her daughter. She was more in the voodoo part. So, but still a fascinating woman of her time. She was never an enslaved. She was born free. Her mom and the gentleman that owned her, they got together. Mom got pregnant and he freed the both of them.
Oh,
so
I like that.
Marie was quite the anomaly. She was quite the woman. She was very strong. She was very philanthropic here. She's an icon here for sure. And really another character that was just wrecked by Hollywood and always has been.
Yep.
If you hear snoring, it's not my husband or me. It's the bulldog in my lap. Because I know she's really snoring right now. Because I gave her.
I do. No, I can hear it. If you hear it on my end, it's my Rottweiler next to me.
Okay. This is Luna. And when she starts getting really loud, I have to tell our guests. I know that you guys see me do it all the time, Gwen, Blaine. It's just, I can tell when she's getting louder, I start going. I sink down in the sofa.
Jennifer, speaking of, how is your Roddy?
Yes.
Oh, he's doing so good. He had a second knee replacement. And if you ask him, he is super puppy and he can do it himself until
Go,
he
buddy.
Oh yeah.
No, he's doing amazing. We hoisted him on the couch next to me, so he's living his best life right now. So yeah, he's doing great. He's my good little boy. Good boy.
So let's do just a few more things about New Orleans itself. And I know everybody loves Luna.
Oh, Kimmy.
She had to take her sleeping time
I didn't say hi
medicine.
to Kimmy. Hi, Kimmy. We love Scott and Kimmy. Oh,
they're precious people. But so it was raining really hard. We had bad thunderstorms, all three of us, Blaine, myself, and Gwen.
Yeah.
It was this big wave that came through, and it went from like 67 to 70 degrees to now it's dropping to 28, and we had tornadoes, and now they're saying ice. So my girls
Yeah,
were
now
so I had to drug them.
We had tornadoes and snow in the same day. Birmingham got hit with a tornado that didn't hurt anything, but then they got snow 2 hours later.
It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. It almost feels. It seems supernatural too, to me.
I know. I told Lee today. I said the weather's bipolar. It needs to pick one side.
Pick a lane, man. Pick a lane.
All right, let's put some rum on their ancestral altars and say, okay, let's get them on the straight and narrow. Like, is it one or the other? Just everyone throw some rum out.
I know what you mean on that.
Oh yeah, Rez is in Wisconsin and he's got 30 inches of snow.
My mom is too. She said Sturgeon Bay got 31 inches. I know Rez is up northern Wisconsin. My mom's like 2 feet or more. She said 36 hours this morning. It's been snowing for 36 hours. So
yeah, and my other buddy Joe Kudo, he's up in Madison doing a class for the next 2 weeks. He said, luckily, he made it to the hotel okay. He said everybody on the way down there's about 30 cars in the ditch.
Yeah,
and he said he got lucky because the hotel he's at is like surrounded by like 4 restaurants that he can walk to. So he ain't got to drive in that mess.
Luna, stop! Yeah. Luna, stop! She's trying to chew my table. She's being so bad.
What is Taterhead doing? That's my nickname for her. She got a big old head.
Yeah, she does. She does. So, she does. She's really something and loves Auntie Gwen. So does Ginger. Gwen even sent me a message. How's Miss Ginger doing? Because she got all the pieces with
What, they don't love me no more?
They love their Uncle Blaine.
They do. I was just here and I'm not at home, so I'm visiting somebody else. And I was just like, how is my girl? I knew she was panicking.
I know. She gets so bad. I mean, bad. Okay, so here's the 3 things, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 things, and then we'll jump on the Paracon because that's really important to us. Okay, so voodoo is not black magic. Okay, a lot of people think that it is.
Correct.
But it's evil. It's actually historically used for healing, protection, justice, and communication with ancestors. And many practitioners were also devout Catholics, which is why you often see saints and crucifixes on voodoo altars.
Yes.
So I wanted to get that out there because we're talking about New Orleans and we're getting rid of some of these misthoughts. Is that a word? It is now.
Yeah, that one's hoodoo.
Fallacies. Stigma. Yeah, I like that better.
Yeah.
You actually, if you go to a shop called Voodoo Authentica, they're going to be at the Paracon in Papazar.
I can't wait.
If you walk through their shop, you see some of their Loa and Orisha altars, and they're going to have the names and descriptions. You're also going to see the Catholic saints that you would associate with that same Orisha. So that goes back. So it's such a great thing for people to see, because a lot of times when we fight about religion, which is different than faith, right? Completely different. You fight about the details. You hear devils in the details. But if you roll yourself back a little bit and look at the bigger picture of what you're talking about, you're going to see across faith, you're talking about the same things. You really are. And I love that about Voodoo Authentica, because they're really trying to drive it home without driving it home. That they
do a good job. I love that place. They're always, every time I've walked in there, they've always been real kind to me, and I always come in there and say hello to them, and they say hello to me back. It's like, oh, what you down here for this time? Because they remember me from the last time, which is pretty good because many people go through New Orleans.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
I love
Nolans.
walking.
Let me get it correct. It's Nolans.
I love walking in that shop when my energy's off. When I'm feeling a little off, I just take a walk and I just breathe in and just sit. And I was walking through their shop this weekend with Paula Dyko, who's doing our social media for us in the Paracon. And I got drawn to one of the altars. I mean, I've been in the shop. I can't tell you how many times. And I thought, okay, there's a reason I feel a little wonky right here. And I looked at the altar and I read the description. And that particular law reminded you to work with your ancestors, which I have been really bad about lately. So it's interesting that if you just listen sometimes, why, and I'm not a voodoo practitioner. That's not where my direction has led me. That doesn't mean it's not real, because it's very real. But it's interesting that you get an energy from another practice going, come here, you're not listening to your people, so you're going to listen to me. And it kind of reminds you need to do more ancestral work. And I know that's why I was feeling wonky right there. And I just looked at it, I'm like, all right, fair point taken. Okay, I hear you. Not listening to grandma, but I'm listening to you. Okay.
Listen to you. Can you remove the warning, please?
That's me that I put there.
Oh, because we're not bad. We're not being bad tonight, so.
I don't know. You might decide to.
No,
that's
I'm good
not
tonight.
that's not the bad boy one.
It's one of my favorite places to go.
I know you are. I just put it on, left it.
Well, you never know.
Well, the only reason
Especially
I don't
me.
like it, it's like most of us are adults that come watch the show. And a movie will only have it on at the beginning of the movie. So it's scrolling across, it takes a part away like that. Okay. Oh, you only got 8 tickets left? Ooh.
For the VIP package, yep. I think less than that, honestly. And no, I know less than that. I think we're
That's great, though.
5 or 6 of the VIP. Platinum's about 4 or 5. Now it's not, it's packages, because every package is for 2 people. You know, someone's traveling on their own and wants to buy a package. All they have to do is call us or reach out by email. And if I've got to break some stuff down and figure out how much for one person, fine. I'm going to say it's not going to be much less, because you know how hotel rooms are. It's always based on double occupancy.
Sure it is.
So it's not going to be much less. I say get the room for 2 and see who you meet here if you're traveling alone. You know, you never know.
Especially in New Orleans, you never know.
You never know. You never know.
So
I think it's wonderful that you guys are doing that con where people can afford to go to it. Because we've talked about this before on the other show in chat. It's like, most of these people, they want outrageous prices. You know, you're going to go take out a second on your house and sell to your kids. And
And thank you for saying that, because we're getting feedback that people think there's a catch. We also got feedback that the hotel is too bougie.
What?
And I want people to understand New Orleans. If we're different. Like, if you aren't going to get the meeting space in a hotel that would be more like, you know, some of the smaller cons that you see, or we're staying at, like, I don't know, whatever house, and then we're investigating and said whatever house, you know. It's not like that. You've got one or the other. That's all you've got, you know. So in order to have enough people come, because we see the need for proper education in all aspects of the paranormal field.
That's exactly right.
And
good. They want a hotel over in Chalmette.
I don't know.
Airport Highway over there. Jeez.
There's not a catch. Here's the thing. My husband is a born salesman. He has years and years and years of experience in sales, particularly in hotel sales and franchise sales. So if you put somebody like with his qualifications and his ex-wife was a meeting planner or did the meeting space in hotels in New Orleans. So if you want the perfect storm of a person to go in and get you a good deal and know the space you need, that's him. So
Yeah.
they don't have a chance. So there's not a catch. The other places never met my husband. That's really what it is.
Catch. No, see, here's the catch of it. You get to come to New Orleans, you get to go to a kick-ass Paracon, and you're walking distance from the best bars, best restaurants in the world.
Yeah. Like, and
that's a luxury.
Another reason we got a good deal is because it is the summer in New Orleans, which, it's a little toasty, but we did our best. That's another reason for the hotel that we chose, because there's a restaurant in-house, Bourbon House. If you go outside, it's Crystal Tavern, but everyone will know it as Crystal Burgers. It's called Crystal Tavern because only in New Orleans would Crystal Burgers have daiquiris, and that's a fact. And
that's
then,
a true fact.
A few blocks away, there's a grocery store if you want to get like grab and go or have some snacks in your room and things like that. So that's why the hotel, and it's a beautiful hotel. Well, why not have your Paracon at a reasonably priced good, nice hotel? Like, why not? If you can.
Oh, I'm loving it. When I found out what hotel you were having the event at, I'm like, oh, this is going to be wonderful. Mm-hmm. People are going to get spoiled because you're not going to the Roach Motel. I mean, you're going to something that people pay a lot of money to stay in. And you're getting it for a great, great price and no catch. The only catch you're going to have is you're going to catch friends. You're going to make a whole lot of new friends.
And oh my gosh, you might learn something.
What's that? I'm sorry.
You might learn something. I
hope you learn a lot.
I hope people learn a lot. I wish I could take every class there is, honestly. And I know, Lee, you're speaking, and I want to go to your class. I just don't. I'm gonna be running it. I don't know how many classes I get to go. I'm out and go sit in. But it's just I want to create a community. Listen, the paranormal community we know can be very high maintenance. We're just going to put it that way. I want us to put some egos aside and learn from each other. I want us to sit back. Chris and I do paranormal investigations very non-traditionally, but what we do works.
Yeah.
And it creates a fun atmosphere. I play Would You Rather with Estes Method. We play cards. We do Mad Libs. We tell dad jokes. We play music. We try to create, when the traditional questions don't work or the historical questions don't work, well, you know what? Let's throw all that crap out the window and let's just sit and have a party. Let's have fun. Because how else do you meet people? You can meet dead people.
I'll ask these oddball questions. It's like, is there beer there? Yep. Is there music there? I asked oddball. I was like, hey, I don't go with the standard. Hey, what's your name? Do you know you're dead? I don't do those.
I want to know. I want to know why we've never seen a naked ghost.
I have.
Have you? Oh, first person I've ever talked to.
Oh, wait. I have seen so many naked ghosts of 41 years of investigating, Jen.
I love it.
Me and Lee and her husband Matt caught a gentleman in a jail masturbating.
I've seen it on our SLS cameras from Scott.
That's what we saw it on.
Yeah, Scott and Kim we buy all our SLS cameras from them.
The Horns are great people. I love them. Yeah. They bought, when I was making my dowsing rods, they bought a dowsing rod my pendulum from me.
Okay. Yeah. So
I've seen a full-body naked apparition. Actually, there were 3 of them at the Shanley Hotel in Napanoch, New York. And the brothel, I had a lady run out of a house, out of the Jeannie Wade house, which isn't the Jeannie Wade house, but ran out butt naked right in the middle of the road. Spirit. I always get the good ones. I've seen more naked men spirits than I ever want to see.
You'd think.
What were you going to say, Jennifer?
You'd think with Mardi Gras and stuff, you'd see more naked ghosts here, but yeah, they've never. They don't answer that question. I do ask if there's sex on the other side. I get mixed answers. When I hear yes, I always ask, okay, explain how that works. And I never get an answer.
That's what I want to know. I want to know the logistics and the physics of that.
Yeah.
But
I've seen
it
in Salem.
Yeah, we actually caught me, her, and her husband, and I think Gwen saw it too, up at Haygood Mill where we do our Native American Cherokee powwow. There's a cabin there, and we saw what we call little people, or some people will call them gnomes. We saw them having sex on a bed.
Should have played some background music.
He's not lying. He's not.
No.
He's not.
And they actually affected somebody in a weird kind of way that day too.
Oh my God!
Yeah, the vibes were real. The vibes were real. Poor Gwen. She's like, "What's going on?"
It wasn't me they affected. All will say.
No, it wasn't.
It was somebody that was there. It was funny.
I would have put some mood music on for him.
I know you don't want no brown chicken brown cow. You want some good stuff, huh?
We're gonna put little Barry White on the
Barry White, yeah, some Barry White, some Nat King Cole.
I got us another post. Here we go. I'm going to get through these, and then we're going to talk more about the con.
Okay.
All right. So Marie Laveau was a hairdresser for wealthy families, and so therefore she had access to local secrets because you tell your hairdresser things.
Yep.
And she held ritual ceremonies on the shores of Lake Pontchartrain. Did I say it? Pontchartrain?
Pontchartrain.
And Pontchartrain. And she mixed Catholic prayers with African spiritual traditions. And, I got to talk about that. And then some locals believe that she could heal sicknesses or curse enemies. Many artifacts inside the museum relate to her legacy.
Yes.
So, I can't talk, right? Hey, Raven.
Hey, Raven.
So the happy thing about this, I see a comparison here because all three of us, me, Gwen, and Blaine, are in the same tribe together. And, we do follow our belief systems about, we're Christian, but then we also understand the belief systems of our ancestors. And so that's no different than what she did.
Exactly. Yeah. And that was a survival technique of most Africans and enslaved Africans and enslaved people here. They would hide inside a Catholic statue, a saint, they would hide their image or something that related to their Orisha or Loa, and then say the Catholic prayers that kind of matched the best. And then when no one was looking, so they had like Rampart Street, which is close to where I live in the quarter. That was actually, Rampart was a wall. Yeah. And so on Sundays, enslaved people, they had a day off from being owned. Isn't that great? Anyway, so they would go to Congo Square and practice their traditional ceremonies because the wall was there. And everyone else is in church. So no one really bothered them at that time. So it is an interesting, when I was affected by one of the spirits at one of the locations we're investigating for the Paracon, the Andrew Jackson. There was a spirit there named Paul that we had been working with for 4.5 years, who we finally were able to convince to cross over. And I came there one night and he asked for me, which I had never done that before. And I thought, well, geez, why do you want me? I don't know. But he knew me. So I guess that's why.
Spirits know you.
Yeah. So
I got called a lot. So does Lee.
Yeah. I got like this all-encompassing faith prayer from some friends of mine. And, we lit the candle and we did it. And we had the spirit box going during it. We recorded it. The people that were on the tour that night recorded it. I don't think that I'll ever release it. I was going to, and the more I think about it, I don't want to. But I was crying to the point where I couldn't even see. But over the spirit box, we heard, "Stop it, you bitch. Stop it, you effing bitch. Quit it. Yeah. Stop it." What it was that there's another energy there who's an energy vampire who wants to be called Priest. Apparently, we were getting rid of one of his batteries. And I didn't ask him permission.
Oh, too bad.
Kind of how I feel. So apparently,
Exactly
so
how I
he
feel.
followed me. He came home and beat the crap out of me for about 6 to 8 months. And I had gone to Papa's R because I didn't know what it was at first. I would see this black ball in my bedroom. I'm like, well, someone brought work home from you with her. Okay, let's see what this is. And it was taking me some time. Like, I don't know what this is. I was doing some cleansing and prayers and bells and anything I could think of. And I'd wake up and my arms and legs just felt like someone just punched on them all night. So I went to Papa's R, got a reading, and he gave me some stuff to do, including saying a few Psalms. I got a gallon of spring water we took to the chief exorcist here. He blessed it, made it in holy water. He did some work on me. He knew what I was going to do with the holy water. And he didn't care because he said, well, exactly what are you going to do? And I told him. And why would he have a problem with me saying Psalms from the Bible? He didn't. And so it took that. And then it took some meditation to actually see priest. And once I saw him, I'm like, listen, okay, it's you. No, you keep showing up here. You know, I got people to get rid of you. So we're going to go back to choices again. I can do that, or you can go back where you stay and leave me alone because I'm not sorry. I'll do it again. And I will not. And I do not have to ask your permission.
Exactly.
So these are my ground rules, and you can be mad at me and you cannot like me. I don't care. I don't care. But
I actually like it when they don't like me. I think it's hilarious.
I'm like, you're going to have to get over it.
Well, Jen, I learned not to play fair. They don't, so why should I?
Mm-hmm.
So when I incorporate a whole ass spirit, as I like to call them, I don't play fair. Two of my spirit animals is a bear and a wolf. They love battle.
Yeah.
My spirit guide, Janawa, you can ask Lee. She whooped a spirit's ass on Repossessed. Her spirit guide beat the bricks off of this damn thing.
Yeah.
Needed it
quite
too.
hilarious. So I love it when they try something with me. I'm like, keep playing. I'll give you one more shot. Then it's on.
And it'll be 2 years in June since I moved that spirit on. But it's taken that long for him. He's not over it. He's better about it, but he's not over it. Every once in a while, he throws a temper tantrum. I'm like, stop it. Because I have to go to that location. I'm like, quit. Stop. I'm going to bring him here. Like, I don't want to, but I will. You know, but then he'll go back and he'll play nice. If he's not doing that, he's entertaining as heck on the ghost hunts. He, unless you challenge him, he doesn't do that to the people on the hunts. If you challenge him, he will. FAFO. Yep. He will. You know, these spirits, you're coming to the Paracon. If you're coming to the Paracon and you're expecting to go on these ghost hunts and you think you can provoke, if we're not up your butt saying stop it, okay, you do it when we're not around, they'll take care of it for you.
Jen, I'm with you. And I'm going to tell everybody before we even walk into the voodoo house, say, if you provoke, I don't care how much you paid for this, I will escort you personally out the door.
Out.
Because you don't do nothing but show them honor and respect because they're giving you a gift by letting you either see them or hear them or feel their energy.
Even if they're bad, you know, one of the spirits of the voodoo house, Philip, it's taken us some years to get him not to be such a jerk. He was not a nice spirit. He's better. He's the poster child for toxic masculinity. If you want to bro out with the spirit, Philip's the one to do it. You know, he's like, walks in the room. What's up, bitches? You know, that's just how he talks.
Right.
And
I think it's hilarious. I love them when they talk like that.
That's how he is. And he's like, yeah, let's put on some Biggie for me. And we'll play him Notorious B.I.G. And he'll light up some of the meters with it. And he's touchy-feely. He will nuzzle your neck. He'll grab your boobs. He loves women. But if the person, like if a woman is with somebody and they correct Philip, that dog don't hunt. The person that's having happened to, they have to be the ones to ask him to stop. The person with them, because they usually get very feisty. You don't get feisty with Philip. I've seen him choke people. Yeah. I've seen him make them throw up. It doesn't, I always tell people, you don't have to allow yourself to be touched. You don't. You can ask them to stop, but don't snap. Because if you snap, what do you think they're going to do?
They're going to snap.
Yes.
Well, I think it was Philip. The last time I went to the voodoo house, he grabbed the lady's boob right there and jiggled it. I mean, just lifted it up. And she turned like 9 shades of red because she's looking at all of us thinking we grabbed her. Then she realizes none of us were even close. None of us are Stretch Armstrong, lady. I can't reach that far.
Yeah. Here's Philip. He is who he is. I mean, what are you going to do? But he's a kick in the pants. He'll tell you jokes. He'll listen to your jokes. He'll bro out. He'll listen. Listen. It's like you've all got that one friend. I mean, come on. You're like, oh God,
Yep.
I'm gonna put the filter on him, right? Mine is my husband. So why is that different? Because he's dead.
No, it's not. We'll get along great then. We'll get along great because I'll have fun letting him do his thing.
Yeah.
So here's one more thing. We're getting close to the end. I want to throw this out. Yellow fever epidemic in the 1800s, when it hit New Orleans newspapers, and there's some, shown there. The deadly yellow fever outbreak hit in 1853, and it killed 8,000 people in the city. Yeah. So, I mean, there's been plagues, there's been natural disasters, there's been different cultures, different religions. It's a different era, and things have greatly changed. So New Orleans has seen a lot of change and had a lot of conflict.
Yeah.
And because of the alternative spiritual practices, you can frost that cake with a lot of people buying books on things going, I'm going to try this. How real could it be? And they FAFO, they open up doors. They open up doors. They dabble in things they shouldn't. They don't know what the heck they're doing. They don't know the consequences. And a lot of us here, I do a lot of cleanup in our private cases with that. If anyone wants to know why you can't travel here as a paranormal group and get into a space, I just answered your question. That's why, because historically that's happened. And there's stuff here I promise you, I don't care how long you're doing this, you've never seen before. You've never seen it before. You won't recognize it because you've never seen it before. You will not know what it is. So
gotta behave yourself, Blaine.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to pop this up real quick because we're rolling into.
We got about 2 minutes.
So I wanted to invite everybody. I'm going to stop the hickey doodle here, and we'll bring it back in a second. This is the powwow that we are hosting, the South Carolina Cherokee Southern Iroquois and United Tribes of South Carolina. We're having a powwow May 2nd at the Haygood Mill in the historic site, and Pickens, South Carolina. We've got the luck of the draw. We've got an incredible drum team. And the Baymont Hotel has given us a great rate for the powwow, and we will be doing a lot of dancing in honor of the missing, murdered Indigenous people. It's a very low fee to get in the door. It's a great place and great opportunity to bring your children. Seeing all the culture and the Indigenous food, so it should be a lot of fun. Okay, so this is the class schedule for the New Orleans Paracon. So this one is Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday on the left, Sunday is on the right. And we're talking about angels and metaphysics and paranormality. We're talking about ghost hunting, ITC devices, and Native American panel, the vampire panel, the voodoo panel. We have question and answer with John Zappos and the Warren Society, animal communication. Okay, that's the same one. We've got spirit communication with Ron Iacovetti and Lourdes Gonzalez. Let's see, we do have the vampire panel again. Then we've got
So what you just showed was the GA class. So if you buy the RIP package or a weekend pass, you get to go to all of those that you just showed.
Perfect. Understanding elementals, psychic development. That's with Patty Negri. And then the first one, Sam Baltrusis, demonology and protection from demons with Father Ken of the Warren Society and New Orleans Paranormal Society. I'm teaching parapsychology.
Mhm.
And there's just so many things. So this is an educational event. Oopsie, I hit the
Yes.
button. All right, so we've got Patty and John. John's excited. I can't wait to see him.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, me too.
Okay. And so here's some more James Stokes, Brandon Cooper. There's the Native American panel. Is Joe Frankie coming?
No, Joe's
Okay.
got some health issues that he's not going to be able to make it.
Okay, we'll have to update
so
this.
in Joe's, so we are bringing in Father Sebastian, who's never done a Paracon
Yes.
before. He is the head of the largest vampire clan in the world and a giant teddy bear. I love him. So you are good. When I tell you got expert vampires, you've got expert vampires. And Patty's one of his best friends.
This is what's going to be
Really?
so cool. There's going to be so many different things that you guys are going to have down there.
Yeah.
There's a flavor for everyone.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to be like Baskin Robbins. I'm going to try every one of them.
And then
Exactly.
experience New Orleans. We're going to have haunted history tours there. If you want to take some tours, if you're not doing the ghost hunts, they're going to have voodoo tours, vampire tours, architectural tours, daytime cemetery tours, nighttime cemetery tours, the Storyville Museum. You can go on a riverboat cruise. Just do New Orleans. Just be here, take advantage of the rate, add on some extra nights, and just do New Orleans. Just dive in, jump in.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be
another one.
because I grew up in Louisiana and Alabama, so
yeah, I know
too
Here's
well. I've thrown more beads off of floats at Mardi Gras than I could ever count.
You're so cute. And here's the people. This is Christopher and Jen Talley, and then local speakers. So for those of us that haven't been there before, this is going to be some really interesting conversation. Lots of things to do, see.
Sorry,
different. See.
Hi, buddy.
This is Rougarou.
Hi, Rougarou.
He says hi. He's my newest. He's like, Mom, what are you doing? If you buy a vendor booth or a speaker, the platinum and the VIP package, part of that Friday night is a meet and greet. There's vendor areas going to be open where all the vendors get to meet the speakers and the speakers get to meet the vendors and see their booths 45 minutes, which never happens. And you get to witness a real voodoo ceremony because Brandy from Voodoo Authentica, they're going to open our con that night with a voodoo ceremony. So you're going to witness it firsthand. Traditional, a short voodoo ceremony, not traditional. They can go hours. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So that makes it even more badass. I've seen it done, but a lot of people never have. They're going to be with like mouth wide open going, this is amazing.
Yep. Get your dancing shoes on. There's going to be some drums.
Get your dancing shoes.
Get some beats with voodoo.
Well, thank you for coming on, sweetheart. You have been hard on this paranormal conference. We can't wait to see you there. Everybody that follows us and watches us, please go to her website. Let me get it back. I changed it. Now I need it back. Okay, so that's that one.
And Brandon and I have a very special lady that we're going to talk to on Sunday.
All right, on.
Good.
I'll be watching.
Lee. We're going to be talking to Lee. I say LTB because it's just easier. Lee is going to be on our podcast on Sunday. We get to dive a little bit deeper into our Native American panel and what you're going to be teaching at the Paracon. So I'm gonna pick your brain Sunday.
Come on.
Sounds great to me. I can't wait.
Jen, I wanted to ask you, could I be on that the Native American panel?
I will see much room. We would rotate. We have so many people that want to teach. We would rotate you in and out. So one day,
because I am a card carrier of a tribe.
I think what we're going to do is we have people from tribes that are more in the northern parts or I would call the wooded areas. And then we have other people from tribes that are more desert. And I think that's what we're going to do is we're going to split them is tribes that are more indigenous to the north and the mid, the wooded, I would say the wooded, I don't even know how to say it. And then tribes that are more indigenous to desert parts of the country. And that might be fun too, to see what the differences between and the similarities are.
That's the good part. There are so many similarities between the native tribes. Most of them were ran by women. They were matriarchal, which I love.
Yep. And I can't wait to learn, you know, because I think we're going to see so many similarities between Native American beliefs, witchy stuff, voodoo stuff. It's just going to all, what is it? Woodland natives. Thank you. Thank you, Rez. We're going to learn. Let's learn. Let's learn how different we aren't.
Thank you.
That's what I hope people learn. How different we are not.
We are not different. Oh, and I do want to throw this up and then we'll get out of here. Okay. Be your authentic self. That's the hashtag, but I think that it's been deleted. I think it has. Oh, no, it's not. There it is. That's what you're saying. Be your authentic self.
Exactly.
Yes. Appreciate it. All right, Gwen, take us out. Everybody, thank you for watching.
Wait,
Family
one more thing before you go away. One thing I got to say, I got to say it every show.
Oh, yes, yes.
You had a choice tonight of 1,000 different choices. You chose us. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. New Orleans Paracon.com. Okay?
Thank you.
Be there or be left out.
That's right.
Have a good night.
Have a great night.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you, guys.